Hello, everybody. Welcome back to, I guess a snowy trail here. Welcome to the new year, 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you all had a lovely Christmas and a New Year, and hope you got plenty to drink. Water, that is. Today, I'm just out for a little stroll. It's nice to get out and just think about things and to stew on the creative process. Today I want to talk about what the 2026 roadmap looks like for my video game, what the development is going to look like, what the goals are, and just sort of a month-by-month playbook of where we're going with things and where I hope to be at by the end of this year. So the major theme of the year is going to be to clean things up and to rapidly start getting the game towards a point that is a bit more polished. Right now my release date is set for April 2028. I'm expecting about 2.5 years of development. So the goal right now is for a 2028 release date, and the current roadmap for this year will be a lot based on the prototyping and based on playtesting that I have planned coming up. So one of the first steps for this year, January, is going to be to wrap up a lot of the development of how the actual elements interact with the environment. And one of the major things is actually going to be the completion of both the elements of fire and water now, and trying to get those fully wrapped up. One of the challenges I'm currently dealing with water is saturation. So one of the fun things and sort of topical for the snow is I'm wanting to do a saturation system where things are covered with water, or you could freeze them as well. And then when you add fire to it, it takes time to thaw through that before you will actually burn the thing under it. So the goal will be to have like a level of saturation. So as the water elemental, you'll be throwing blocks of water, essentially. It'll be big drops. It'll hit the ground and then spread out just like you would expect with typical water. And then the idea would be to have ice afterwards, so you could freeze it, probably with the air blast, I think, and you'll create essentially what you have here is just ice, and you'll be able to melt it and thaw it with fire. And that's the sort of goal that I think I'm going for. And then on top of that, to have steam come off of it that you can also ride. So some complexity, it's very difficult, but it's very fun. Very good system, I think, so far. So that's a big part of what I've been working on at the moment. And the goal is to wrap that up and to finish the other parts of the game as well and try to get it all in a nice, cohesive, playable state. So that's January's goal at the moment. So February, the goal for February is going to be on art. The whole intent of February will be to create art assets. It'll be to try to create something that feels a lot more polished. So that'll be the actual graphics, the color palette that I choose. It'll be actually choosing a color palette. It'll be choosing to create certain sprites, certain music and sound effects. It'll be trying to make the game feel a bit more complete than it currently is. Right now it feels a little tacky, and to be fair, it doesn't need to look amazing at this point. It's a lot of testing, a lot of figuring things out, just trying to prototype and see what works, but you also have to prototype the art. And so that's the next step for me, is trying to figure out what art feels like it fits with the game, feel like what vibe I want to go for, how I want the art to feel and look, whether I even want like pixel art or to hand draw a lot of stuff, maybe even hire some artists. I'm not sure. But that's what February is going to be focused on, trying to get the art, trying to get the whole game to a good setup and good point for when I get to March, we can do some playtesting. It's starting to get a little dark, so I gotta find some place a little lighter, better for shooting here. sometimes it's just nice to get out in the cold. I don't know, something about it just makes you feel a little more alive, I do a little winter hiking sometimes, and it's similarly quite fun. I very much enjoy it, and there's just something visceral about the cold, There we go, that's a better spot. All right, we found a bit more sun here, maybe a little too much directly in my eyes, but it's fine. So March is going to be a huge pivot point for me. March into April. March is when I'm planning my next playtest, and probably going to be the same people, maybe a few other friends as well if I can get some people. Maybe some of you guys, let me know if you're interested. Definitely would be willing to get some of the community in and helping as well. March is going to be a big deal. So March is going to be essentially where there's two paths. I'm going to do the playtest. It's hopefully going to incorporate all 4 of the elements. Hopefully all of them will be at a very fun and playable point, and all interact very well with the environment at that point. The goal will be to have essentially a basic tutorial for the playtesters to interact with, and then go into the actual full slice of the game with the knowledge of the tutorial, and with me being a lot more hands-off. That'll give me an understanding on how to do tutorials, and hopefully see if the improvements I made from the first playtest have any merit. So with that in mind, it's very much going to be a branching path at that point. There's two ways I see it. There is the happy path, in which the playtest goes well, everybody has fun with the game, or the unhappy path where things do not go well, and then I have to take a few steps back and make quite a few changes probably. So the happy path, if everything goes well, the game is well received, people are enjoying it, people are having fun with it, great. April onwards will be refining things further. It won't be probably adding too many more mechanics. At that point, I want most of the mechanics already implemented in the game. It'll just be refining the mechanics that exist, trying to improve them, and trying to refine the art as well. Furthermore, I already have an idea for how the world will be. I have an idea for 5 major levels, and ideally by the end of the year, I want 2 of those completed, essentially to a complete playable point. If I decide to go with the story, I'll be prototyping the story a bit, trying to figure that out. If I don't want to go with a story, which I might not need one, then it'll be probably skipping that chunk of the development entirely, which will probably save quite a bit of time. On the other hand, for the unhappy path, it means I have to go back to the drawing board. It means I'll be doing a lot more prototyping, a lot more testing. I will honestly be simplifying the game quite a bit and trying to bring things into a more palatable state. That's one of my fears right now, is that the game might be a little overcomplicated, but I don't know. We'll see. It'll really depend on the playtest. If I really need to, I'll go back to the drawing board, try to come up with some different ideas. I might completely change the style of the game. It might not even be a puzzle game anymore. I'm not really sure. Maybe it'll be fast-paced puzzle. Maybe it'll just be a little platformer. Don't know yet. But hopefully we'll be on the happy path. More than likely we'll be somewhere in the middle, as is usually the case in life, which is honestly fine too. I'm up for whatever challenge comes my way, but yeah, we'll see. Oh, my ass is freezing. Yeah, so March is going to be a big deal. March into April is going to be a huge deal. And honestly, my biggest concern right now is that my game is just too overcomplicated. At the moment, it feels like the elements are all very unique and interesting, and they're not too complicated, but I feel like the way that it comes out in the game could very well become extremely complicated, and could become overly complicated, too complicated for it to really be fun, honestly. Just too many working pieces, too much that you have to kind of figure out just to be able to have fun with the game and play it. I don't know. It might just come down to how I implement it as well. I think that's why I want to have the tutorial levels as well, because it allows me to experiment with how to sort of drip feed the information to the players and to get them to understand the mechanics in a decent way before I just throw them all at the player. And I think that's really important. Otherwise, it probably just will be overwhelming and just way too much for any one person to be able to try to deal with and to understand. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited. It's 2 months away, so I got a lot of development ahead of me. But I'll be keeping you guys updated with it. Speaking of which, that is actually another part of my goals for 2026, this YouTube channel. Honestly, I am having a lot of fun making these videos. I'm very interested in continuing to make these videos. I don't want to overdo it. I've actually made videos in the past as well, believe it or not. I've had a couple other channels that I've done before for a lot of Skyrim at one point.
Oh, okay. You guys are still coming strong, and the guards are needing to help me here. There we go. Kill them, please.
As well as quite a bit of Minecraft when I was like 15, which is kind of hilarious.
And welcome to Beast on the Milky Way. We're here. I figured after all this time, I've been here on like the Milky Way.
And yeah, I want to keep doing these videos. It's a lot of fun. It's great to get this information out to you guys. It's a great means of communicating what's happening with the game, especially, and try to get like any attention on the game as well, especially since it's essentially impossible to get any attention on the game without, I guess, self-promoting to some degree. But never been huge into like self-advertising, I guess. So this, I feel like, is a better way of bringing you guys along, and instead sort of bringing you along for the journey rather than just for advertising a game. So this channel is a big part of my 2026 goals as well. My hope is to get 24 videos uploaded, 24 devlogs at the very least. Potentially some other videos like this one, since this isn't really a devlog, it's more of just a channel update, direction of things, direction of the game. But the goal is for 24 devlogs this year. That is the hope, at a cadence of about 2 a month, and I think that is pretty reasonable. I was doing once a week, but that quickly became a bit untenable. It starts to become a lot more about the channel and a lot less about the game. And that's not necessarily where I want it to be at. The channel is sort of secondary to the game. The channel is just to show you guys the journey and to bring you along on it. So anyway, that's all I had for today. I just wanted to discuss the direction of the video game, discuss the direction of the channel as well, and see where we're going moving forward. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope you can enjoy the winter weather as well a little bit. Hopefully it hasn't snowed too terribly bad where you are, or if it has, I hope you love that. But yeah, until then, I will see you guys in the next devlog. Full of saturation, so as you... Woo!